Hi there everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Kelsey and I'm going to guide you through a quick yoga for mobility sequence. So truly any yoga practice you do is going to help improve your mobility. I personally think of mobility as the ability to move, to have a greater range of motion over time, perhaps with the awareness and control that is necessary to keep ourselves safe. So knowing our body's limits. But like I said, any yoga practice you do is going to be great for mobility. This one in particular is going to focus a lot on the joints, and we're going to go ahead and get started right here in a comfortable seat. No props required, just taking a few breaths to ground into the practice. Because this is yoga, we are doing everything with a mindfulness, with that breath connection. So starting to connect with your breath now, closing the eyes, relaxing your shoulders away from your neck, relaxing your jaw. And then just take a few cleansing breaths in through your nose. Sigh it out. 2 more. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Last one. Breathe in. And just take a moment to connect with what your intention is for practicing. Yes, perhaps to improve your mobility, to stretch and strengthen in a way that is very conscious and mindful. And also, if there's a deeper intention, reminding yourself of that now. No matter what your intention is, trust that everything that you need is already within you. And let's flutter the eyelids open, coming back into this space. And we're going to start with some wrist circles. Take your arms out in front of you, taking your hands into fists. The thumb is to the inside of the fist, and then rolling out your wrist in one direction, whichever direction. And you might notice that one side feels a little bit easier. Maybe one side feels a little bit tighter. I know for me, it's my right side is always a lot tighter. Go ahead and reverse. Just taking the wrist the opposite way. And then releasing the fist, spread the fingers wide, flex back through your fingers, reach out through the heels of your hands. Relax the shoulders down, no tension in the neck here. And then turning your fingers down, like you're reaching them towards your forearms. And then take your fingertips to the heads of your shoulders, and we'll roll out the shoulders. On an inhale, think about bringing the elbows closer together and then reaching them up. Exhale, reaching them out and down. Doing this a few more times. Breathe in, elbows together. Maybe they touch. Exhale, up, out, and down. One more. Breathe in. And then switch it out, the directions I mean. Elbows out and up as you breathe in. Exhale, together and down as you breathe out. 2 more like that. And the next time that you bring your elbows forward and down, release your hands, come around into your tabletop posture, hands and knees. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow, getting into that spinal mobility now. Inhale, lift your sits bones, drop your belly, pull your heart through and lift your head. Exhale, round your spine, chin towards your throat, press the floor away from you, tailbone tucks down. Inhale into your cow shape, tailbone lifts, head lifts. Exhale, round your spine, draw everything in. Let's do one more like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale back into your neutral tabletop position and tuck all 10 toes under, and then start to sit your hips back towards your heels for a little toe squat. You can keep your hands far out in front of you, maybe even take it into like a modified child's pose, or walk your hands back. Maybe your hands are on top of your thighs. If you can do this, make sure that pinky toe is getting tucked under. Mine tends to escape this a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and down. And if you're upright like me, let's take some neck circles, letting the chin drop down towards the throat. And then inhale, right ear over right shoulder. Let the head roll back. Think about reaching your chin up towards the sky. And then exhale, left ear over left shoulder. And then chin down through center. A couple more in this direction. Again, as your head goes back, think about lifting your chin towards the sky instead of sending your head back. One more like this. And then reverse to the left first as you breathe in. Lift your chin. Right ear to right shoulder. Round it through. A couple more this way. And the next time the chin comes down towards the chest, just rolling up. Walk your hands out in front of you and then untuck the toes, pitter pat the tops of your feet onto the mat. And then let's keep the left knee down, reach through the arms, lift up through the low abs a little bit, tuck the right toes under, press back through the right heel, getting a nice ankle stretch now, a stretch into the calf. And then we can lift that right foot away from the mat. Keep the hips squared to the mat and take your toes, your right toes, in circles, starting in whichever direction feels good to you. Reverse. Breathing as you're doing all of these movements. And then drop that right knee down. Let's go to the other side. Tuck the left toes under, press back through the heel. Enjoy the calf stretch first. And then lift those left toes up. Keep the hips squared to the mat. Take your left toes in circles. Reversing the direction now. Drop the left knee down, tuck all 10 toes under, walk your hands a little bit ahead of where you had them before. Downward facing dog. Send your hips up high and back. Allow for as much of the bend of the knees as you need to, especially if your hamstrings and your back is really tight. Lift up through the hip creases, lift up through the low abdomen, and maybe paddle out your feet. So here's another good place to get into those Achilles, into the calves. Head is nice and heavy, so we're not holding tension in the neck. Find some stillness in your downward dog, and then ground down through your left leg. Inhale, reach the right leg up towards the sky. right toes are pointing down as though you're trying to get your pinky toe to point down, and you're reaching out through that right heel, lifting from the place where the glute meets the thigh. And then notice how you can turn your right toes out and stack your right hip on top of your left hip, and then turn the right toes down and bring your right hip back into alignment with your left hip. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. That right leg is as straight as it can be. Stack your right hip over your left. Exhale. Right hip drops down in line with the left. Last one. Open it up. And exhale. Square it off. Bring that right foot down. Switch sides. Left leg goes high. Turning the left pinky toe down towards the mat, squaring off the hips. Reach through your arms, reach out through that left heel, and then as you turn the left toes out, stack left hip over right, and then exhale, square off the hips, turn the left pinky toe down. Inhale, open up, exhale, close, doing one more here, breathe in. And exhale, turn the left toes down, set your left foot down, walk your hands and your feet to meet one another about in the center of the mat, more or less. Feet are a little bit wider than the width of your hips, and let your upper body just dangle, feeling the weight come out of the wrist now. Take a couple of breaths to let your body be pulled down by gravity, feeling that tractioning out through your neck. And then bringing your fingertips to the mat, bending the knees as much as you need to do that. Heel toe your feet about the width of your mat, toes out, heels in. Drop your hips down into Malasana, your yogi squat. Elbows to the insides of the knees. You can have fingertips down still here, or hands can be at heart center. If this pose is really difficult for you, and you find that you sit pretty high up off the ground, your heels always lift up, know that these things are totally okay, but what you can do in your own time, and if you have something nearby now to practice it with, you could go to the edge of a counter or something that's relatively stable and hold on to it as you send your hips back and down so that you don't feel like you're gonna roll back, right? And so you can even do that here just by reaching the arms forward. But if you feel more comfortable, hands at heart center, lifting up through the pelvic floor, reaching up through the crown of your head. One of my teachers likes to say that it's as though there's a string from your pelvic floor up through the roof of your mouth, connecting to those deep core muscles. And then let's bring the hands out in front of us. We're going to step it back. One more downward facing dog. Whew, hallelujah. And then drop your knees down. Make your way back around into a seat. Let's take the legs into this cross-legged shape. And then we're going to lift up the right leg, holding on to the right knee with the right hand and the right foot with the left hand. And then we're going to gently rock that leg in and out. Try to stay nice and tall in your spine here. And you could take the leg in some circles. And so it's not moving the knee. I want you to really feel it coming from your right hip socket. And then go ahead and reverse if you were doing those circles with me. If you listen to Spirit Box, maybe comment, circle with me. Okay, if you have a little bit more space, you can take right foot to the crease of your left elbow and right elbow around your right knee. interlacing the fingers and maybe rocking the whole body forward and back here. And if you do not have the space, you can do the same thing, just hugging the leg in close as you can, rocking forward and back. Come back to upright. Slowly release your right leg into an internal thigh rotation. So your right knee is going to point out towards the shorter edge of your mat, and your left shin is parallel to the longer edge of your mat. And then you're going to walk your hands back behind you at a diagonal for deer pose. The wider your heels are from your glutes and from your body, the more you're going to feel this. And you can stop here with your hands down, or you could lower down to forearms. That's a little bit too much for me today, so I'm going to stay up here. Last couple of breaths here, just enjoying some stillness. Alrighty, let's come forward off of the hands, and we're going to do those same little leg rocks, but with the left leg. So you can take your left foot with your right hand, your left hand to that left knee, and then starting by just rocking your leg out to the left and then back in front of you. Really working along the length of your spine, connected to core for that back support. Begin to take your femur bone in the hip socket in circles. I don't know if she's in frame. There she goes. Turkey's joining me. Reverse the direction of your leg circles. And then you can stay here holding on to the leg with your hands, or if you have a little bit more space, taking the elbows to the leg, sitting up really nice and tall as you can, and then rocking forward and back with the whole torso. Alrighty, whenever you come back to upright, slowly release the leg into that internal rotation of the left femur, left knee towards the shorter edge of the mat, right shin towards the longer edge, and then walk your hands back behind you, roll this left hip down. Take a little bit of time here. Again, just enjoy the stillness. Last few breaths here. Alrighty, begin to bring that left leg back in. Let's turn and come down onto our backs. I'll turn this way since Turkey seems to be occupying that side of my mat. Last little bit here, working some of the strength through our glutes and through our back, and then stretching out with some twists, and we'll take a little rest. So prepare for a bridge pose. Arms down, feet hip-width distance apart. Feet are just outside of the reach of your fingertips. And then because we're working a little bit more on mobility today through the spine, I want you to tilt your tailbone down, feel the lower back lift up, press through your arms, lift your sternum towards your chin. So we're really already feeling those back muscles activate. Navel is drawing down to spine to really connect to those core muscles. On an inhale, press through your feet and roll up. Hips lift towards the sky. Exhale, try to keep that arch of your back as you lower your hips down. Inhale, press through your feet, rolling up. Exhale, slowly come down, keeping that arch in your back. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. From here, hug your right knee in, extend your left leg long, being careful if you have a furry friend at the bottom of your mat. Right arm goes out beside you, and then guide your left leg over towards the left for a twist. Keeping your chest facing the sky. Next inhale, come back through center. On an exhale, switch out the legs, left knee in, right leg long. Inhale, left arm out. Exhale, left leg goes over towards the right. Take your twist, stretching out the back. And on your next breath in, rolling towards your back. Exhale, set the left foot down and extend that left leg long, beginning to set up for Shavasana. If there's any other way of moving, of course, please do what feels good to you so that you can rest here with some ease. And if you're ready to find a little bit more stillness, extending your arms and your legs. Let your breath come and go nice and easy, no control needed. You'll hear my voice when it's time to come back into this space. Enjoy your rest. Remaining just as you are, begin to notice your breath again, feeling the rise and fall of your chest and your belly with your breath. Allow the movement of your breath to inspire you to start waking your body up one little bit at a time, letting these small movements slowly get larger until maybe they evolve into a big full body stretch. Breathe in to stretch from fingers to toes. Breathe out to let it all go. And then bend your knees. Roll yourself over to one side, any side. Pick yourself up. Meet me back in a comfortable upright seat. As you arrive, letting your eyes soften, reconnect with your breath. Take a moment to acknowledge how you feel in your joints. How you feel in your energy, your spirit. Connect to a sense of gratitude for your practice, for this time that you had on your mat, and for yourself for choosing to set aside this time. With gratitude in our hearts, palms together in front of the heart, let's close with one chant of Om. Wherever you are with your breath, empty out your lungs. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale to chant Om. Thank you all so much for joining me for this short mobility yoga practice. I hope that it served you well. Leave me a comment letting me know how it went for you in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I release new classes every single Sunday, completely for free, no strings attached. And it's a great way to support free yoga on the internet. So I hope that you'll join me here more often. I hope we can practice together again soon. And until then, namaste.